Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.
Welcome to our news hour from Radio Free Syria. I am MarwanKADRO and I will be with you during this news hour. We will start with the headlines. Local coordination committees in Syria. The number of martyrs in Syria has risen to 190 thus far, including 10 women, 12 children, and 2 who were tortured to death. 56 martyrs in Aleppo, 37 in Damascus and its suburbs, including 14 in Jobar. 28 marches in Idlib, 19 in Deir ez-Zor, 16 in the province of Homs, 14 in Daraa, 11 in Hama, 14 in Raqqa, 4 in Latakia, and 1 in Hasaka. The LCC also documented 303 points of shelling, including 22 were shelled using warplanes, 1 using explosive barrel, 1 using cluster bombs, 1 using phosphorus bombs, 131 using artillery shelling. Mortar shelling was reported in 87 points, while shelling using rocket launchers in 60 points. Clashes between the FSA and the regime army occurred in 120 points. 2 warplanes were brought down in Idlib and the other in Qalamun. The FSA confronted a military convoy in Sfiris Road and destructed a few regime forces' machineries and freed the railroad near Aleppo International Airport. In Daraa, the FSA freed Saha checkpoint in Giza. We will start with Homs. The Assad forces have executed 7 people in the neighborhood of Karm al-Shami after kidnapping them 2 days ago. Meanwhile, heavy battles with heavy artillery on the neighborhoods of Jobers, Al-Sultaniya and Tal al-Shur. Moreover, heavy bombardments on the cities of Al-Rastan, Talbisa and Al-Qasir and Al-Hola, which resulted in the death of 4 people. Moving to Idlib, the Assad forces have committed a massacre in Ma'arat al-Nu'man as they have killed 10 people due to the heavy shelling on the area. Meanwhile, the Free Syrian Army have dropped a helicopter above Armid military base. Heavy bombardments using phosphorus bombs on Kafruma as other villages in Jabal al-Zawiya have been also under heavy shelling. Heavy battles between the FSA and the Assad forces near to Hamidiyya and Wadi Daif as heavy explosions have been heard. In Aleppo, the Assad forces have committed yet another massacre in Aleppo as MiG airstrike forces have shelled the neighborhood of Karm al-Tarrab, which resulted in the death of 8 people. Also heavy shelling on the neighborhoods of Karm al-Qasr and Karm al-Jabal and the highway to the international airport. Moreover, heavy battles between the FSA and the Assad forces in Al-Nil Street and around the Layramoun neighborhood. Moreover, heavy shelling using TNT barrels on the city of Al-Bab in Aleppo's countryside, which resulted in the destruction of several home buildings. Meanwhile, the FSA have destroyed 2 tanks near to Queris military airport. Moving to Damascus and its suburbs. A new massacre has been committed in the neighborhood of Jobar, which resulted in dozens of people killed. Moreover, a big military column have arrived at Al-Abbasin Square as heavy battles continued around the square between the Assad forces and the Free Syrian Army. Sham News Network have declared that civilians, among them women and children, have been kidnapped in Al-Qabun neighborhood. Several civilians have been injured as the Assad forces have shelled the neighborhood of Hajar al-Aswad using rocket launchers and mortars. As in Yarmouk neighborhood, there were heavy battles between the Assad forces and the Free Syrian Army. In Deir ez-Zor, 4 people have been killed as others have been injured due to the heavy shelling on the neighborhoods of Deir ez-Zor. Heavy shelling also on Sheikh Yassin and Al-Hamidiyya using rocket launchers. Heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces in Al-Huwaiqa using heavy artillery. In the provinces of Al-Riqqa and Al-Hasaka, several prisoners have been killed as they were shot down by security forces, as villages of Riqqa's countryside have been under heavy bombardments. In Al-Hasaka, the Free Syrian Army have liberated the hospital checkpoint in Al-Shidadi, as more than 90% of the city is now under control of the Free Syrian Army. This was it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I am MarwanKADRO. Along with me, Executive Manager Islam Al-Idilbi. Please follow us on freesyriaradio.webs.com. You can also reach us through Skype on Syrian14. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.